Owner didn't believe her eyes when she realized what this mare gave birth to. I think now we all understand birds and bees, or at least I hope that's the case. The reproduction and birth processes, even when dealing with different species, are pretty self-explanatory. So why are these animal births so unbelievable? Keep watching and find out. Destiny the mare. Horses are beautiful and majestic animals, don't you think? And the baby foals are quite cute. But the calf to which this mare gave birth was not a baby foal as you would expect. Any guesses? Dania McKee spent a lot of time raising horses at Gasson's Farm Stud in Exeter and ran the business independently for many years. This means that she's very well versed in all things horse-related, which means there's not much about these majestic beasts that might surprise her. But that all changed when her 19-year-old male, EOC Nooks, aka Destiny, had an unbelievable birth in June 2018. But what was so peculiar about this case? Well, for starters, she didn't end up giving birth to one foal, she gave birth to two. If you didn't know, seeing a horse conceiving twins is extremely rare and even rarer for a horse to carry those twins to completion. In fact, the chance of that happening is about 1 in 10,000. Having these twins born strong and healthy is another totally rare phenomenon. The twins named GFS Shockwave and GFS Master Blaster, with GFS meaning Gasson's Stud Farm, were perfectly healthy foals, and to this day, at 3 years old, they're still as vigorous as they were when they were just foals. But it doesn't end there. About 18 months after the twins were born, after a year of no breeding, it was decided that Destiny would only breed one last time. And what do you think happened? She just had another set of twins. What are the chances of that happening? Certainly, this is a unique incident. At the time, Miss McKee even did an examination in Destiny for a set of twins while she was pregnant. But for some reason, one of the foals was not detected on the ultrasound. Maybe he wasn't ready to say hello yet, who knows? Although unlike the first set, these two foals were not identical, they were still incredibly rare. The chance of a mare giving birth to not only one but two sets of twins is insane. Literally 1 in a million. And 80% of twin embryos in horses tend to miscarry spontaneously within the first 6 weeks. The probability of carrying both sets of twins to term is very difficult to comprehend. But luckily, born in March 2020, the new set of twins was reported to be just as healthy and lively as the previous one. These twins, a filly and a foal, delighted Miss McKee, and she said, "It's amazing. I've been raising horses for years and years, and I've never heard of such a phenomenon before. It was surreal. I can't believe they're healthy. They're strong and energetic animals. They're very happy." Even an expert cannot understand this. Now these brave little foals have been separated. One of them was sent to a professional jumping center, and the other went to a horseback riding school. As for Destiny, Miss McKee said she will not reproduce again because the risk of complications during pregnancy is too high. Besides, I think it's time for her to rest, don't you? Curva the elephant. Like mares, elephants usually only get pregnant with one calf because they're very large mammals. Obviously, this wasn't the case for this beautiful elephant. Curva the elephant, named for the curve of one of her tusks, ended up giving birth to an incredibly rare pair of twins. She was 31 at the time of her pregnancy and ended up giving birth to these rare beauties in the Pongola Game Reserve. Yeah, you guessed it, Pongola in South Africa. The probability of an elephant conceiving, let alone giving birth to twins, is extremely rare and hovers around 1%. A survey conducted in Mboseli estimated that only one set of twins was born out of 1,192 elephant births. So you can understand how exciting it is when that happens. Even when an elephant gives birth to twins, it's unfortunately not very common for both calves to survive. While it's not uncommon for an elephant to have twins, it's unlikely to happen. So the elephants didn't evolve very well to take care of more than one calf. Usually, an elephant ends up dying because the mother cannot provide enough milk for both of them. Sometimes other female elephants in the herd that have recently given birth help feed the young, although this isn't very common. Therefore, the stronger calf often controls the access to milk, which in turn leads to a weaker calf's death. Fortunately, the miracle babies of Curva the elephant were monitored by wildlife experts around the reserve, and everyone was rooting for the two twins to stay strong and healthy. During the weeks after birth, experts monitored Curva from a safe distance to ensure that she had enough space to overcome these mortality odds. Still, they stayed close enough to ensure none of the elephants needed intervention. Fortunately, nearly 7 years after Curva gave birth to her calves, both are healthy and thriving. As rare as this phenomenon is, it's actually been recorded to have happened on several occasions in recent years. Maybe it's something in the water. Either way, Sri Lanka has welcomed its first set of twin baby elephants in 80 years this month. Sarangi, age 25, gave birth to 2 male calves at the Pinawala Elephant Orphanage, and so far they're doing very well. Although they also struggle with high death rates, they seem to be in perfect health at the moment. Interestingly, the last twins before them were born to a domesticated elephant in Sri Lanka in 1941. What a miracle. Yeti, Odin, Samson, and Apollo. Surprisingly, these kitties that were born in July are the rarest cats in the entire world. This even humiliates the twin elephant stats. But what makes them so incredibly rare? Perhaps you've heard the names Yeti, Odin, Samson, and Apollo together before. Born in 2014, these 4 brothers earned the title of the world's rarest big cats and were expected to become the biggest as well, considering their uncle Hercules ended up taking the title of the world's biggest cat, weighing 922 pounds, or 418 kilograms, and 131 inches, or 3 meters long. That estimate wasn't too bad. However, it's their parents that they can thank for their rarity. Their father, Ivory, is one of the 300 white African lions in the world, and their mother, Saraswati, is among the 1,200 remaining white tigers in the world. Breeding these together has only increased the rarity of their offspring, so they are very special. Ivory and Saraswati were bred together on the Myrtle Beach Safari in South Carolina, where they allowed the safari to produce its first lion-white tiger hybrids in the world, also called ligers. With only 1,000 ligers in the world, predominantly in captivity, these kittens have gone viral from the moment they were born. When the kittens were just 6 weeks old, they already weighed about 15 pounds or 6 kilograms, and were recorded to gain about half a pound of weight each day after that. Wow! As kittens, Apollo was the smallest of them all and behaved like a domestic cat. On the other hand, Yeti was the biggest and was known to be very rowdy and was always eager to be the center of attention. One of her caretakers even said that he hoped one day he would end up in the Guinness Book of World Records just like his uncle. Safari founder and director Dr. Bhagavan Antle suspected that Yeti would be even bigger than his uncle Hercules. He stated, "I am convinced that Yeti will be in the Guinness Book. He is already very big, he has a huge head and very big fat paws." A little rude, but we understand what he meant. And he wasn't wrong either. I'm sure it's no surprise that these brothers got huge, but it might be a surprise that Apollo became the biggest. Although he has yet to match Uncle Hercules' record, he still weighs an incredible 700 pounds or 320 kilograms and has been compared to a saber-toothed tiger, the biggest feline that ever lived. His brothers aren't far behind either. How fascinating are these 4 brothers? Test tube lions. If you thought Yeti, Odin, Samson, and Apollo were awesome, wait until you hear about these unique lions. And when I say unique, I mean unique. Born in 2018, these special lions are the first of their kind. How? Well, they're the world's first test tube lions. These kittens were not only innovative for scientific purposes, but also for wildlife conservation purposes. As the number of big cats are tragically steadily decreasing due to poaching and global warming, the birth of these test tube babies indicates a promising step forward in saving the endangered felines. Of course, scientists will work tirelessly to apply this science to other species as well. Let me introduce you to these adorable felines that were bred through artificial insemination. The lioness gave birth to a male, Victor, and a female, Isabel. These adorable kittens, which were raised at the University of Pretoria in South Africa, were born without complications and were in perfect health. Even more surprising, given the great success of these kittens, experts believe that IVF could be used to save many other species as well in the near future. In particular, pioneering IVF can now be used to save species of tigers, bobcats, snow leopards, and other big cats that are facing a decline in their numbers. In the future, this treatment can be explored with other species as well. The animal kingdom sure is an amazing thing to behold. Which of these rare pregnancies and births surprised you the most? Thanks for watching.